Russia. Moscow. Domodedovo International Airport. July 1st, 2002, 8:10 p.m. 45 Russian schoolchildren wait to board a flight to Barcelona. It's their reward for doing well at school. Among them is 11-year-old Artur Hamatov.
At the start of the school year, we agreed that if he finished with top grades, then he could go with the group. When I came back from work one evening, he came up to me and showed me his school report card and said, "Dad, look, I kept my word." And he looked at me with a question in his eyes, and I said, "Good, I promise you can go."
The children are from Ufa in central Russia. They've been delayed in Moscow because they missed their original flight. A replacement has been chartered to take them to Spain.
Flight BTC 2937 is now ready for boarding.
Also on the flight are Svetlana Kaloyeva and her children, Konstantin and Diana. They're visiting their father, who's been working in Spain for a year and a half.
I spoke to them on the phone every day, which made my stay easier. But it was hard not to see my children for such a long time.
Svetlana is lucky to get seats on this Bashkirian charter. Delays in getting visas meant other flights were sold out.
We were finally going to see each other and we were going to have fun together.
The crew complete final preparations.
Дамы и господа, вас приветствует капитан корабля. Добро пожаловать на борт башкирских авиалиний.
8:48 p.m. The Bashkirian Charter Airlines flight BTC 2937 takes off from Moscow's Domodedovo Airport. Distance to Barcelona, 3,000 kilometers. Estimated flight time, 4 hours, 20 minutes. Switzerland. Zurich Area Control Center. 11 p.m. 35-year-old Danish-born air traffic controller Peter Nielsen is working the night shift. He and one other controller are managing a sector of airspace above eastern Switzerland and part of southwestern Germany. By day, this is one of the busiest crossroads in Europe. But at night, traffic slows down to a trickle, with only a few planes at any given time. Peter Nielsen's colleague goes on a break. Nielsen is solely responsible for all Zurich area airspace. He sets one radar for traffic passing through his sector, and the other for planes coming into land at nearby Friedrichshafen Airport. But after 11 p.m., there are no scheduled landings. Nielsen can concentrate exclusively on passing traffic. (11:06). Svetlana Kaloyeva and her children, along with the other passengers on the Bashkirian charter, cruise 36,000 feet above Austria. They're scheduled to arrive in Barcelona in just over 2 hours. 600 kilometers away, a DHL Boeing 757 takes off from Bergamo in Italy. Destination, Brussels. The captain and the co-pilot are the only people on board. maintenance engineers arrive in Nielsen's control room.
So you will be working from the backup, okay?
They've come to service the main radar. (11:21). The DHL cargo plane, flight DHX-611, enters Nielsen's airspace. The captain requests permission to climb to 36,000 feet.
Swiss radar, good evening, DHX-611.
DHX-611 identified. Expect a further climb in 4 to 5 minutes.
Before allowing them to climb, Nielsen has to regulate traffic.
Descent flight level 320.
The maintenance engineers now need to work on the telephone system.
Work fast, please.
11:25 p.m. An unexpected plane is approaching Friedrichshafen. Nielsen has to switch radar stations. A delayed Airbus, flight AEF 1135, is coming in to land. He calls the airport's control tower to let them know. He can't get through. But he still has 10 minutes before the Airbus will land. So he moves back to the passing traffic radar.
DHX-611.
And gives the DHL cargo plane the go-ahead to climb to 36,000 feet.
Climb flight level 360.
Nielsen then returns to the Airbus and calls Friedrichshafen Airport again.
BTC 2937.
The Bashkirian charter calls in as it approaches his sector.
Station calling, say again?
BTC 2937. Level 360. Level...
But just as Nielsen acknowledges them, the Airbus contacts him.
AEF 1135 is inbound. The final approach fix for ILS runway 24.
I expect so. I'll call you back shortly.
Nielsen calls Friedrichshafen a third time.
Die gewünschte Verbindung ist nicht möglich.
AEF 1135.
He radios the Airbus and tells them to contact the airport directly.
I lost my phone connection to Friedrichshafen. Could you please call them on your second set?
Affirm.
The DHL plane is now flying over Switzerland at 36,000 feet. Suddenly, its onboard traffic collision avoidance system, TCAS, sounds an alert.
Traffic.
At exactly the same time, the Bashkirian plane's TCAS system also squawks. The two planes are now 25 kilometers apart. They're flying at exactly the same altitude to exactly the same spot. Peter Nielsen suddenly realizes he has an urgent problem.
BTC 2937.
He immediately tells the Russian pilots to descend.
Descent flight level 350. Expedite, I have crossing traffic.
Seconds later, their TCAS system says the exact opposite.
Climb.
Just climb.
He's guiding us down.
Climb.
At the same time, the DHL's TCAS tells it to descend.
Descend.
The Bashkirian crew don't know which command to follow. Nielsen repeats his instruction.
Expedite, descent level 350, BTC 2937.
When he sees that they followed his orders, Nielsen tells them that the DHL plane is approaching from their right-hand side.
We have traffic at your 2 o'clock position, now at 360.
He switches back to the Airbus. In the Bashkirian charter, the crew are looking for the DHL plane. The two aircraft are now just over 5 kilometers apart. They are both in descent, closing at a rate of 1,300 kilometers per hour, faster than the speed of sound.
It's here, descent!
Stay on the left.
Descend hard, descend!
11:35 p.m.
AEF 1135.
The Airbus crew have finally made contact with Friedrichshafen Airport.
Can we go, Friedrichshafen?
Nielsen can now hand over the plane.
Affirm. Bye-bye. BTC 2937. BTC 2937. BTC 2937.
Within days, the victims' families arrive at the scene. Among them is Zulfat Hamatov, father of 11-year-old Artur.
Через 2 дня мы полетели в Германию. Это был шок. Мы все были в шоке.
It was a shock. Many parents were fainting when we saw the broken plane wings, the broken tail. We still hoped that these children would run in, appear from somewhere, and probably every parent believed in some miracle.
Vitaly Kaloyev flies in from Barcelona, holding out for news that his wife and children were not on the flight.
One has to be certain. Maybe it was not my aircraft that crashed. Maybe something else had happened. Who can know without proof?
Investigators confirm his worst fears. 71 people on board the two planes are now confirmed dead. It is the worst civilian aircraft accident that Germany has ever seen.